complete scoreboard, head over to foxsports.com. I'm Jimmy Gascon. We are Fox Sports.
Hello, everybody.
I'm Bill Davis. You're listening to The Great Outdoors here on Sports Talk, AM 1300, The Zone.
We just finished number 1. Here's number 2.
Live from the Bud Light Studios in Austin, Texas, this is The Great Outdoors, hosted by Central Texas fishing legend Ken Milam.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
We're only talking to the guides who make the big catch, and we're only talking to the guides who make the big hunt, because everything is bigger in Texas.
100% Texas till I die.
This is The Great Outdoors on Sports Talk, AM 1300, The Zone, presented by Sioux Falls Prater Equipment.
Just like the song, like the intro said, we only talk to the big guys that make the big catch. Well, now, folks, we got to introduce the guy that catches some of the... Well, he's known as the hardest working fisherman in the business. And it's Jimmy Houston. Jimmy, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, Kenny. Really good. I tell you, I'm not sure if that's a good. I'm not sure if that's a good deal or not. Just to be known as the hardest working guy, but
well,
we work at it. We do. You know, we play hard. Is I guess what it's about too.
Well, we play hard and we fish hard, and we fish hard so we can play hard.
Absolutely.
You know. I got a good friend in here. When I posted on Facebook several days ago that Jimmy Houston was going to be on the phone with us, live on the phone with us this morning, and Chico called me, says, Ken, he's the biggest fisherman. He's the best fisherman. I got to be in there with him. And Chico's a good friend of the show, so I said, just jump in here. Chico, say hello to Jimmy Houston.
Jimmy, it's a pleasure to share the mic with you today, man. I'm honored.
Hey, Chico. How are you doing this morning, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. This is awesome.
You know, it is. This is one of my bucket lists. You know, I've watched you forever. You've been, well, Chico brought all the homework in. I'm sitting here, you know, I kind of did a little bit of homework on some stuff, and then Chico says, Ken, here's a bunch of cheat notes. I said, cheat notes? Yeah. And I'm sitting here, you've wrote 5 books. You champion, the college champion. You were. See, let me read all this. Oklahoma State Championship as a college senior in 1966, and you won over $1 million fishing bass tournaments. Wow!
Yeah, you know, amazingly, you know, you look back at that. I started fishing tournaments when I was a senior in college back in 1966, and I was just here a few months ago, somebody reminded me that next year will be 50 years of fishing national tournaments. And we got to checking around, and I didn't really realize that. It seemed like an awful long time to me, but I guess we're the only fisherman that's ever fished national tournaments for 50 years. And FLW and Shell Oil Company, Quaker State, and Rotella brands that we represent have got some big things planned for next year, and going to give away a $50,000 Ram truck with about $40,000 or $50,000 worth of Tommy Pike custom work done on it in celebration of fishing 50 years. And the amazing and ironic thing about that, Kenny and Chico, is that I'm not sure if I need to be bragging about that or complaining about it.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I'm not sure it's an accomplishment, really, but Kevin Van Dam told me a couple weeks ago, he said, you don't have to worry about me breaking that record.
You know, we have a great friend of the show, and I know he's a friend of yours. That's Bill Dance. We've had Bill on several times.
Long-time friend.
And, in fact, I saw how I knew that some of these guys, I don't mention other names with because, you know, I've been in the fishing business for well over 30 years, but I'm a striper guide, and when I go to talking largemouth bass, I have to bring somebody in because, you know, I hook a shad on the front on my hook, throw it out there, catch me a striper, and I'm happy. Or, you know, and if I'm not catching striper, I'll cut that shad in half, hook him in the back, throw him out there, and catch me a big blue cat. And I know you're a blue cat fisherman.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I know you caught a lot of bass out there striper fishing.
Oh, yeah, we have.
So don't like you don't know anything about those bass now, buddy. But,
I agree with you.
Actually, you know, I helped pay my way through college selling catfish. I've caught literally thousands and thousands of catfish. And back when I was in college, we caught them every way you could catch them except with a telephone. And some people might go, a telephone? How do you catch fish with a telephone? Well,
wrong number.
That's right. But I probably would have done that, to be honest with you, if I could have got a hold of one of those old crank units back when I was in college. But we noodled the catfish. We caught them on a trot line. I pulled hundreds of miles of trot line. We caught them on rod and reel. My wife and I one night caught 153 channel cat on a rod and reel.
Good
and that's a pretty good night's fishing right there. But we were just a couple college kids trying to pay our way through school, and we sold those old catfish for $1 a pound dressed and 50 cents a pound on the hook.
That's another thing. We've got a great friend, and me and you met in Round Rock at the Bass Pro when they had the grand opening back in the summer, and I had Bob Lusk on last weekend, had him on last Sunday, and Bob and we were talking. He said, "Yeah, Kenny." He says, "I've been up and I've been in Oklahoma." I said, "What are you doing in Oklahoma?" "Oh, I'm helping Jimmy fix up his lake, his dam bust." And I said, "His dam bust?" Yeah,
it was horrible.
Y'all been having some rain up that world, in that part of the world.
We've had almost 90 inches this year, which is we're just like about an inch away from 90 inches, and we may get that inch this weekend. They're talking, but. Back on Mother's Day, we had a pipe break, and we lost our 125-acre lake, which was, one of the very best bass fishing and crappie fishing lakes in the United States, if not the best. I mean, it was incredibly good. We'd caught over 80,000 fish out of that lake in the last 12 years, and it was just a dagger to the heart. And but we've rebuilt that dam. We're working on spillway really as we speak. And the first fish we put back in, we completely cleaned it out after it got down to about a half acre of water, and we caught quite a few fish out and moved them to another lake. But now the first fish we put back in since the lake's coming back now in pretty good shape really, is Bob Lush brought us 5,000 copper-nosed bluegill we put in. We'll end up between now and the end of February, probably putting about 100,000 copper-nosed bluegill in, and then come summertime, we'll be putting the bass back in there, and hopefully, in a couple of years, we'll have good bass fishing again here. But it's like to lose a private lake for people that have it, and most people have not ever lost one.
No.
But if they do, it's like getting stabbed in the heart with a dagger and not dying from it.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a terrible deal. But anyway, we're going to make it better than it was. And God's blessed us with a lot of rain this fall, and we probably have about 80 acres of water, of land covered in water. We still need about 13 more feet, which, by the way, Ken, I'll give you a little math question.
Yes, sir.
13 feet on 125 acres. About how much water do I need?
Heck. How much?
That's math. Oh, man, I don't know.
A bunch. You're going to need a bunch of rain. Fill that lake on up.
Yeah, need to call the Culligan man.
Yeah, I think so. That's
right in the neighborhood of 500 million gallons of water we still need. We lost about 2 billion gallons. We need about 480 or 490 million gallons to fill it up right now. It sounds like a lot, and we think about that. It kind of tells you what a great God really is.
Yes.
What He could do. We could call all over the nation and couldn't buy a 500 billion gallons of water.
Well, you see,
God will provide it no charge.
You just brought it to a light, kind of what. Our lakes here in the hill country in central Texas area, Travis was over 50 feet low. Buchanan was over 30 feet low.
Oh, they were incredible. I saw both of them down there at that, and it was amazing. And, the rains this spring, really made a difference all over the state of Texas, and especially in y'all's area. It really, really helped. And
you know what's great, Jimmy? These lakes are going to be destination lakes. You remember what? Back a few years back, what Amistad was. Highland Lakes, Travis and Buchanan are going to be those lakes in a couple of years.
Oh, I agree. Maybe quicker than that.
Yeah.
I think next spring you're going to have incredible fishing in those lakes.
It's moving fast.
With the structure that's in those lakes, it's going to be some kind of awesome. Structure 50 feet deep. That grew up in the lake beds. 30 feet on Buchanan.
Oh yeah, and the fertilization of that water is going to be the best it's been since they built the lake, since they were brand new. I mean,
Yep.
The water quality is going to be so good, and the fish populations are going to explode. The bluegill, the shad, and obviously the bass, crappie, and everything, stripers, everything. I mean, everything's going to get good, and those lakes are just they're going to be phenomenal. There's no doubt about it. That's one of the things that happens, when something gets regenerated like that. And it's going to be great. You're exactly right.
Something I want to talk about. I know you're a big spinnerbait guy.
I throw one every now and then.
Yeah, a little bit.
and we're going to talk about, there's so much structure in these lakes. And there's structure, it's brush. You can't believe how thick this stuff was. We got 25-foot tall sycamores and cottonwoods and willows out there that are sticking up, but there's 5 and 6 foot of brush undergrowth you couldn't walk through, tie vines and all kinds of vines that grew up underneath there. How would you fish that stuff down there? How would you stay above it and fish it? Would you fish it with a spinnerbait? Would you fish it with a worm? We got a break. Trent's in here shaking his fist at me. So that's what we'll talk about when we come back. Jimmy, will that be good?
Sounds good, buddy.
We got a break here for a few minutes, and then we're going to have Jimmy Houston back on right after this. We got to thank Sioux Falls Prater for being the sponsor, and we'll see y'all on the other side of this break. Jimmy Houston, folks. Thank you, Sioux Falls Prater. See you in a bit. Bye.
We turn our backs, then turn back.
Hey, this is Jeff Kent, and you're listening to The Great Outdoors, right here on Sports Talk AM, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to The Great Outdoors on Austin Sports Talk leader AM 1300 The Zone. Presented by Sioux Falls Prater Equipment. Now, back to the Bud Light Studios and your host, Ken Milam.
And we've got on the phone with us this morning one of the greatest bass fishermen. No, well, he's one of the hardest working bass fishermen out there. He loves to help kids. He loves to help the industry. He loves to get out and be a good. What do I want to say?
I've been taking lessons from him for 20 or 30 years. I don't know how long.
Good gosh!
Thank you, Jimmy.
You guys going to have me almost as old as my buddy Bill Dance and Roland Martin.
Oh, listen to it. And that's, when you said Bill Dance, I'm sitting there, me and Bill Dance, we hit it off well because, it's just two big old rednecks.
He's a good one, I guarantee. He's been a buddy for a long time.
He is a good man. Me and him hit it off so well, and we all pretty much come from the same backgrounds. I come from a poor background. Bill coming from a poor background. You came from a poor background. We learned to fish because we were hungry. That's how we learned to fish. And the
you
good
got
Lord.
It right. In some of those early tournament days, Ken, when Chris and I would go to the tournaments, both, in BASS and the old Project Sports, of course, she fished bass and gal for 21 years. A lot of times we didn't have enough money to get back home. We had to get a check to be able to buy enough gas to get back home. So, we were fishing. We were fishing really, sure enough, for something to eat. Even though we were throwing the fish back, we were still fishing for something to eat for sure.
Yep, and that's what. I just found out I did not do my homework, Jimmy. I apologize. When Chico walked in here, he says, Ken, Jimmy's wife is a very professional bass angler, and I'm sitting there. Mm-hmm. Do what?
Oh, he's been doing it as long as he has.
So,
well, she's really probably a better bass fisherman than me. She fished the 21 years of bassing out and won 7 Angler of the Year titles and 4 classics.
7.
I think more money than anybody, and forever was the only woman in the bass fishing professional bass fishing Hall of Fame for many, many, many years. But if I, she can catch them better than I can, but she should be able to. She smells better, not.
and one thing about it, we have learned from one of the greatest fishermen, because he was the fisher of men, and now we got out there and we fished for the bass, and you know what? He was a fisherman too, so I think he kind of looks at us and looks at us and says, those are good guys. They're out there fishing too.
Oh, you're right about that. You're right about that. And I've always said that I've heard all my life that God didn't just subtract from you the number of days that you went fishing, however many allotted days you have.
Yep.
So the lesson behind that is pretty easy. If you go fishing every day, you might live forever. But if you miss a day, you might have only had one day left. So don't miss a day. Go every day, and just no telling how long you might live. It's amazing. People that spend their time in the outdoors fishing and hunting and out there and what God's created for us do actually live longer. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
I think we're talking about Bill and Roland. Those are some good examples.
Yep.
The balance, yeah.
Chico is a big kayak fisherman, and
I just got a new kayak. Eric Jackson, my buddy that owns Jackson Kayak.
Oh yeah, Eric
sent me a new kayak, and I'm going to be doing that myself. That's so much fun, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's my passion right now. I found the way to fish, and I'll never go back.
You can get just about anywhere and go catch fish on them. That's what I like.
Mm-hmm. What we were talking about the kayaks is the kayaks are the entry. Do you remember when we were kids, Jimmy? When the entry level boats were the old Lone Stars? Do you remember that?
I had a Lone Star boat and a 12 horsepower Sea King motor. That was a motor sold by Montgomery Ward.
Yep.
And that's what I fished with when I was in high school and college. And I put the trolling motor on the front of one. Nobody'd ever seen that before. I took slats and put it in the bottom of those old Lone Star boats to make the bottom flat where you wouldn't be standing in the curve.
In the V, yeah.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, you bet.
What we're talking about now is we were talking about earlier is the kayaks are a lot of our entry-level boats.
No doubt about it.
And they're great boats. They're great fishing boats. And folks, get out there and fish them because it will make a better fisherman for you. And then it will step you into, if you want to fish a big power boat, then you can buy you a Ranger or one of those and jump in there and,
it's accessible to everybody.
You
can get into this easy.
Kenny and Chico, y'all talk about the old days. One of the things that people have enjoyed on our show for the last 5 or 6 years is look back segments where we're looking back to some of the older days, looking at a show 5 years ago or 10 years or 20 or 25 years ago. And one of the things that we fired up on Thanksgiving Day, a lot because of that and a lot because of the way that television is going nowadays, is we fired up a Jimmy Houston digital television network. It's called JHL.TV, Jimmy Houston's Legends.TV, and where we actually started on there a couple weeks ago. Been on the air 2 weeks, and it's growing by the thousands. But we started with the 2013 television shows, and we're going backwards from there. And we've got fishing tips on there and videos from viewers sending videos in. Obviously, we've got shows on there, look-back segments, quite a few of the look-back segments. But within the last 2 weeks, we're talking about the old guys. Roland Martin's show is going to be, we'll be firing up him a channel on there pretty quickly. Al Linder, a legendary name from up in the north, up in Minnesota, and Ted and Tony Capra from up in that area. Also, the American Outdoorsman, which has been on for over 25 years on television. We've got quite a few, about a half a dozen additional shows that will be starting on that network pretty quickly. And the cool thing about it, it's kind of like watching football or baseball games. You remember when we were kids, if you could watch one football game on television a week, that was pretty good, or one baseball game. And now you can watch all the games that are played. And this will allow people to watch a fishing or hunting show anytime they want from anywhere in the world. 24 hours a day. They can, and they are sort of habit forming. I got to admit myself. Get on there, I end up spending 2 hours on there watching myself. But watching some of those old shows, it's really kind of fun. And the amazing thing about fishing is it's changed a lot, but it's still the same as it was back when we started when we were kids.
The lessons haven't changed.
No.
They haven't.
No, that's right. That's right.
Baits changed.
Pretty wild.
Technology.
Yeah. Folks, we got Jimmy Houston on the phone, and we're just having a good time is what we're doing. We're talking fishing. We're talking just getting out in the great outdoors and having good time and our Texas, great outdoors. And, Jimmy, I got to ask you, I've had, Denny Bauer, I've had so many great fishermen, great guys, and that's one of the great things about Denny and Chad and Bill and Ray Scott and you and just so many. I can just keep naming them, and everybody is good people.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think a lot of that just is simply the outdoors creates that. One of the things you don't see in guys that fish and hunt, you don't see a lot of situations of people that's beating their wife or robbing 7-Eleven stores or getting in trouble with drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. The outdoors creates, and I think this is really important for parents to consider and think about. The outdoor creates a completely different set of moral and ethical values that you can't really learn in any other sport or activity. I'm like everybody else. When I was in high school and college, I played sports, and all those sports are good. Basketball, baseball, football, golf, whatever you're doing. All of those are good, and they create, and kids learn from them. But taking those kids hunting and fishing, they learn from God himself some values, ethical and moral, that will stay with them all their lives. And what you're talking about with like all those individuals you mentioned and hundreds of more that you and I know,
yep.
Is they just have a value system that's better than you can get anywhere else than the outdoors.
Yep.
When you're out there hunting and fishing, you see just really how awesome a God we serve, and from a little kid, from 4 and 5, I can't remember when I caught my first bass or my first fish for that matter, but I suspect I was 2 or 3 years old. But I can remember my dad, my uncles, my granddad carried me fishing when I wasn't hardly old enough to hold a fishing pole, and those things that you learn that you don't realize you learn when you're 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 10 and 12 and 15 years old, that maintain you throughout life, and a value system that, quite honestly, in a lot of places is being destroyed in this country of ours, and
yep.
we need to get more of those kids out there
yep.
fishing in the woods and hunting also.
Amen, brother. I agree. We need a break here, Trent. Trent's hollering at Jimmy. I don't know. Trent said you could only be on with us for around 30 minutes. I know you had something to do. I want to thank you, my friend. I would love to have you back on a show sometime again. And it's just too much fun. It's just too much fun with you, my friend.
Well, Kenny, just give me a holler anytime you want. I'm available anytime, and it's the start of a beautiful day here in Oklahoma. We had 75-degree weather yesterday here in southern Oklahoma, which is pretty amazing. The highs are in about the 50s, so it's good fishing weather, good hunting weather right now, and it's just going to be another beautiful day.
There's one thing I've got to ask you. What kind of day was it the first part of October when UT was over in Oklahoma? What kind of day was that, Jimmy?
I just got only one answer to that. Have you seen who's playing for the national team?
Yeah.
We are very benevolent here. We do. Our buddies down there in Austin was struggling a lot, and so we knew that one little defeat wouldn't hurt us there, and kind of get our guys fired up a little bit. And I was born in San Marcos, Texas, so I claim Texas, except for that Saturday in September or October. That's the only time. But, I'm an Oklahoma University guy and have been forever. I carry Bob Stoops fishing and Joe Castiglione, our athletic director. And, y'all are going to get things straightened out down there in Texas pretty quick.
It won't be long. It won't be long.
About it. And it's a great rivalry. We love Texas without a doubt.
Jimmy, this has been a fun show. God bless you, and let's pray for all our kids out there to get out there. I got to tell you one story. There's an old judge that lives down in Laredo. He told me, he says, Kenny, I said, yes, sir, I've never put a kid in jail that had a hunting and fishing license in his pocket.
I've heard the same thing from judge friends of mine. That's exactly right. That's a very good statement.
Yep. Jimmy, thank you, my friend. Thank you
so much. Do
you need to throw out any? Well, where can they go look at you online and all that kind of stuff in your TV shows?
We're of course on NBC Sports, Destination America, World Fishing Network, WFN, plus several other networks. But the hot thing right now is JHL.TV, and it's completely free. Once you sign up there, you can go in. Every time you click on it, it'll pop right up there. We add fishing and hunting material every day, and we'll be adding several more channel partners, like I said, within the next few weeks. And it's a pretty neat little hunting fishing network, JHL.TV.
How would you like to have all of the old Lone Star Sportsman stuff?
Well, I tell you what, I think we're going to put some of the old Virgil Ward stuff on there, too. It's going to be pretty amazing.
We'll share this.
Jimmy Houston's Legend Television Network,
That'll be fun.
JHL.TV. Hey, I appreciate y'all.
Jimmy, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Bye-bye.
Folks, that's Jimmy Houston, the hardest working fisherman, professional fisherman out there.
That was awesome.
That was fun. Mm-hmm. That was really fun.
We didn't even get into the lessons, and it was
I
good.
know. We were just BSing. We were just talking. That was fun. We got a break. We got to get out of here. Trent's shaking his fist at me. Done picked up the bat. Thank you, Sioux Falls Prater. We'll see y'all in a little bit. Bye.
Hey, this is Brett Eldridge, and you are listening to The Great Outdoors, right here on Sports Talk AM 1300, The Zone.
I know everybody says money can't buy happiness, but it can buy me a boat.
Welcome back to The Great Outdoors on Austin Sports Talk leader AM 1300 The Zone. Presented by Sioux Falls Prater Equipment. Now, back to the Bud Light Studios and your host, Ken Milam.
How we talking? We can talk in here, talk pigs, whatever.
But it can buy me a boat.
Chico, talk fishing. Figure whatever you guys, all like that.
We've been fishing. We got a tournament coming.
I can change all that.
Oh, we're on already. That was fun. I wish we could have. Well, I think Jimmy wanted to see what it was going to be like with us because folks, that was a blast. Chico, that was,
it was
good.
Real good.
I'm glad you came in and got to ask the questions.
I had 20 questions.
I know, but we just kind of let him just and just go. And
the one question I wanted to ask him.
What's that?
If him and his wife are fishing, who's in the front?
That would have been great. I never thought of that one.
I want to know, when you got two fishermen like that, there's two good egos in that boat, right?
Yeah.
And they're married.
I
bet she's in front.
Oh, he's back there keeping, he's fishing backwater. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't no doubt about that. But that would have been a great question.
Yeah, well, when
Jimmy
talks, you let him.
Oh, yeah, we just let him talk because that was good. Yeah. We've had Bill Dance. We've had Ray Scott.
We've had Bill Dance about 7 times. We've had Ray Scott twice. Now we have Jimmy Houston. I mean, there's some other people that I would love to get on this show.
We're going to get Ricky Klein on before long.
We would love to get him on.
Bob Lusk, he's the one who grows all these big bass for all these guys.
Well, I was going to say, ever since I started your show 3 years ago, Ken, I've been wanting to get Jimmy Houston on this show real bad for you because we were able to get Bill Dance. We were able to get Ray Scott, and Jimmy was another guy we really wanted on this show, and we were able to get him. So there's a little check mark in a box right there. So
of the TV guys, he started the kind of, let me give you a lesson and let me give up what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Jimmy was one of the first at that, and he's kept doing it. So
he was good. He really was good.
I think it's cool that now he's doing the internet, that internet channel. That opens it up.
Wow.
The world is changing.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Wow. All the stuff that he does, the hardest working bass fisherman in the business. What can you say?
Yeah. We're going to stay in communication with Jimmy.
I've got a feeling he'll be on the phone. We'll have him on again pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what, whenever we went to commercial and we signed off, I was just talking to him on the phone right now. He's more than willing to come back on the show. I said, come back anytime. He says, just whenever you need me, call me. So
good. That's what's great about Bill Dance. Trent calls him up, and Bill, this is what's wonderful. Trent calls him to get him on the show, and Trent, Ken wants me on the show? Yep. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. He just looks up there and just says that to you.
It's funny because it's funny how nice of a man he is to do that. Just like as you said, the first time we had Bill Dance on the show was May of 2013. It's always pre-recorded. Bill likes to do pre-recorded. He's never live. Yeah, that's true. So Ken's in the studio, like Wednesday before that Saturday, interviewing Bill Dance for the first time, and Ken and Bill talked college football for about 30 minutes before they got to before we had to cut it out because they talked football for 30 minutes before they got to fishing. We had to cut that part out.
Well, you notice where I waited till the football to talk to Jimmy about? I had to throw that in. We were fixing to go off. Oh, that's right. He's in OU. He went OU. Oh, hell, I got to throw that in there.
Yeah. He had the perfect comeback, though. He said, who's about to play for the national championship?
I knew that was coming. You weren't going to get away with that.
Yeah, you asked for that.
Well, it would have been, I almost said, well, we beat y'all and we beat Baylor. What can I say?
Yeah, that was, at least we had something.
And we got some, Charlie's out there working and getting some really good people to come on for this next year.
Yeah, they made a little flight to Tulsa last night to try to get the Sterling Gilbert, the offensive coordinator, and his co-offensive coordinator from Tulsa. And supposedly last night there's a deal in place. I don't know if anything's official yet, but supposedly there's a deal in place that convinced Sterling Gilbert to come on.
Who in the world
and
wouldn't want to
coach
come
for Texas.
from Tulsa and come to Austin, Texas?
Maybe it's hot. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, if you live in Tulsa, wouldn't you want to come to Austin?
Like I said, maybe it's really hot down here to him. I don't know. I'm
If
just
you
kidding.
live in Tulsa, you've been to Austin.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, Tulsa's in Oklahoma, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
well, it's just over there.
Hey, Trent, we didn't ask him.
No, I'm not. I know what you're saying. I wasn't
Trent.
fixing to tell him that.
Come on, Trent. We didn't ask him.
Here, I'll turn it around. So, Ken, why doesn't Texas slide off into the Gulf of Mexico?
Because you suck. Oh, we couldn't. Oh, that would have probably got him upset if we'd have said that. What Jimmy heard. I hope he ain't listening on Iheart Media, and if he is, well, appreciate you listening on Iheart Media.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
if he heard you, he probably would come back on if he heard you say that.
Well, I must say, my Oklahoma friends have been pretty gracious to me this year. They could have made this miserable, and they didn't. So, it's a building year.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, it's a building year.
I got a feeling next year's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, just the stuff that we saw coming out right there at the end, it's going to be fun next year. It better be.
The pressure's on, that's
I
for
think
sure.
it is. I think it is. And what do you think about that, Trent?
Well, I was going to say because we're in Austin, Texas here, and there's probably thousands of people listening to this show. That's a Longhorn fan. Worldwide on
Iheart Media.
There's a lot of people that are listening that are Longhorn fans and Cowboy fans, just like me. I'm a Longhorn and a Cowboy fan, and of course I'll root for the Texans whenever they're on. This is the hardest year of football I've ever experienced. The Longhorns had a losing record, and so does Dallas.
Well, but we beat OU, we beat Baylor. If we just beat TCU. And we don't play A&M anymore, so we don't know what's going on there. We will probably beat A&M nowadays.
I would say yes to that, and let's make it happen.
So there we go. So you Aggies, y'all want to find out? You're going to have to fix it where we can play y'all.
Did you see that the quarterback, Kyle Allen, was granted a release so he could transfer? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to get out of there.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to leave, yeah.
Really?
Yes, I'm saying yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So,
I hadn't heard that from my son. He's the Aggie in the house.
So things aren't working out too much, I could say, with him and the A&M. So hopefully wish that young man the best.
Yep, we wish him the best.
And I can call him a young man because he's younger than me.
Well, there you go. Trent can call me short. He likes it when I come around.
I think you were saying when you came in, you said my Taylor Swift cutout was bigger than you, correct?
Oh, yeah. She's a head taller than me. Is that really how tall she is?
Yeah, she's really that. She's really like 6 foot in real life. Yeah.
Her legs are taller than me.
You ever seen legs that long on a woman? Are you playing music and telling us shut up?
Yeah.
We're picking on his Taylor Swift, what it is. He's ready to get us off the air now. We got to get out of here, folks. We'll see y'all on the other side of this break. And y'all jump in. Fried Squirrel Hotline, 390-5483. And we'll see y'all on the other side. Got to thank Sioux Falls Prater. See y'all in a bit. Bye.
Hey, everyone, this is Jimmy Houston, and you're listening to The Great Outdoors on AM 1300, The Zone.
Live from the Bud Light Studios in Austin, Texas, this is The Great Outdoors on Austin Sports Talk leader AM 1300 The Zone, presented by Sioux Falls Prater Equipment. Now, here's your host, Ken Milam.
I'm here. We just had Jimmy Houston sign us. Oh, no, he just brought us on. Wow. Did he do that live, Trent? I mean, that sounded live.
Yeah, right when we hung up, I asked him. He said he'd be more than happy to do it. So thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you.
There's somebody that you wanted to thank for helping us get him and Bill Dance on.
Bob Lusk. Bob Lusk. He takes care of all of these guys' ponds. Chico, Bob Lusk. He takes care of Ray Scott. You know who Ray Scott is. Ray started BASS, Bassmasters Classic. He was kind of the godfather of all this stuff. And then Bill Dance, Jimmy Houston, and we can just keep going. We just got to start working on them NASCAR drivers now, Trent.
Who do you like, Dale Jr.? Who do you want?
We're just going to have to talk to Bob. Got friends. Yeah, Jimmy and Bob both got friends. They got plenty of friends.
You think they got the hookup?
Yeah. I think they got the hookup. Yeah. I just texted Bob. I'm in the pasture. I'll have to turn it on. So I guess he's probably out hunting this morning. So and I told him, well, Jimmy's not on. We'll have to tell him how to. Well, while we're here, tell him real quick, because he's listening now, how he can go find it on podcast in a little bit.
What's that again?
He can go find the show on podcast.
I got tangled up for a second.
I know you got.
I know. I'm sitting there like, what'd you say? Okay, I didn't know if you're asking for the website plug or the podcast plug. The podcast, you go to local shows. Will be up after the page. Local shows tab at the top of the page. am1300thezone.com. You put your little mouse key over that pops up. Hit Zone Podcast. You'll see Ken's Great Outdoor Podcast right there. That'll be up shortly after the show.
And then to find Jimmy Houston, he's that YouTube channel.
Yeah, JHL TV.
JHL TV. Mm-hmm. We got to go look that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't have that on my notes, by the way.
I know.
It's not right.
Well, you got this from Wikipedia now. You're just going to have to call a wiki up and say, hey, Jimmy's got a YouTube channel. Y'all ought to put that in this.
Need an update.
Yeah, update it all up.
Speaking of your website, we put that article and that video up. We were talking about in the 6 o'clock hour. So that article from the Houston Chronicles on Ken's page about the hogs in South Texas, in the video of that tribe using monkeys to help them hunt hogs. Really? That video's up, and then there's the article from the Houston Chronicle. There's a link to that article on Ken's page also.
Go check all that out, and you'll find out about that. Warthogs do live in holes. Trent come in here first time. He said, hogs live in holes? Well, heck no. Well, yeah, they do.
And apparently monkeys are faster than hogs.
Yeah.
And then Ken, well, this hasn't been proven, but I told Ken if a hog ever charges you and you don't have a weapon, you're out in the wilderness, you're just supposed to jump over him, right?
No. You throw your monkey at him.
Where's the monkey?
Where's that hog coming? He's charging me. Get the monkey. Get the monkey.
Is that how you used, did you use Max to hunt hogs back in the day when he was about 5? You held him in the palm of your hand, and when you saw a hog, you threw Max at the hog, and he ran.
Did he tell you?
He ran and tackled the hog for you? Is that what happened?
Did he tell you?
That's what he told me.
I was scared to death. Well, he's old enough now. We're out of the time period that, that come get us now. But yeah, we'd just chunk him out there and we'd let him run around in circles and the hogs get after him, and then we'd get out there and hit him with sticks.
The statute of limitations just ran out on that one.
Wait, you hit Max with the stick or the hog with the stick?
The hogs with the stick.
Oh, okay.
Maxie, bring him by here. Bring him by here. And we, bam, knock the stick out. And if we had to slow the hog down, we'd hit Maxie with a stick once in a while. Because then Maxie would lay down and kind of bounce a little bit and the hog come up there to him. Then we'd beat the hog to death. Is that what you wanted to take off? You wanted to take off like that?
That's why I wasn't expecting that, but
yeah, that came out of nowhere.
Folks, we had a blast with Jimmy Hughes. That and Chico, it's been fun.
It was fun. 2 hours went by really fast today.
It does. We need 3.
Yeah, the show does need 3.
Yeah. If we had 3, it'd go by just as fast.
Yeah, we could talk slower.
Yeah, we could. It would be fun.
Do you think you'd be able to, let's say the third hour was on the front hour, it was 5 to 8 instead of 6 to 8. Do you think you'd be able to get up early enough? You get up about 8 o'clock during the weekdays, right, Ken?
Huh?
Do you think you'd be able to get up early?
That's midday.
He's finished work by 8 o'clock.
That's mid-morning. That's mid-afternoon, 8 o'clock.
I've had Ken call me on weekdays about 6:30 in the morning, tell me to get up, and the day's already half spent. at 6:30 in the morning.
He calls me at 5, and he says, "I know you're up." He won't even ask.
Not even close to being up at 6:30 during the weekdays, of course. But that's.
Have you had your first cup of coffee? Hell, I hadn't even thought about coffee. Well, you need to get up because I've been up for 3 hours. I started this morning at 2.
Yeah, 3 for me.
I thought it was
not unusual. Either.
I thought it was going to be foggy, so I was going to get an early start. And it is beautiful out there. A little windy. If y'all are on the water, be careful today. It's going to be windy. It's going to be a little rough. And Chico, if you got anything you need to jump out here and throw a little love to?
We just finished our kayak Santa Claus tournament, the Frostbite Classic last weekend, and got a video up on YouTube.
Where's your YouTube channel?
Frixtx, Frixtx on YouTube. You can find it there.
Frixtx.
Mm-hmm. And I'll put that up. I'll share it up to your site and see if you.
And you just videoed all of this.
I'm running a video today, so we're going to put some of this up. I'll put it together, and we'll have something up here in a few days. Here, and people can see Ken's face and everything he's doing here when you're not watching. They had to put their pants on.
Where Trent grabbed hold to Taylor and wrapped his legs around her, and he had her bent over, and he's kissing her. You gonna put that on?
That's
there?
What we need is an inflatable Taylor. No, don't even get started on that.
See, people want to see that. They don't want to see Ken's face, but they would love to see me what you were just explaining.
See, that goes viral.
Just kidding.
He's right on it. It's true. And I want to remember here too. We've got a Guadalupe tournament tomorrow out at Jones Brothers Park on Lake Travis.
Really? Yeah, y'all gonna do a Guadalupe? Y'all gonna cook them?
No, it's catch and release.
Okay.
Well, one of our Team Krotjagers, they're strictly catch and release, and to get them involved, we had to convince them that we would let everybody put the quads back. So that's what we're doing, and it's typical kayak format: catch, photo, release, and a nice easy buy-in. 12 noon, Jones Brothers Park tomorrow.
Well, that'd be fun.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Pay back or no or yeah?
It's 100% payout. Whoever shows up, all the money goes into a pot, and
whoever wins it gets the pot.
That's right. Well, we pay out a couple spots on it.
Okay,
but
makes it worthwhile.
If we get 3 guys there, we might change the rules and double down. And things have been known to change.
You know what's great?
But it's Guadalupe's, so it's really challenging.
How'd you like?
I got to tell you, it's hard to get out and only catch quads.
You know what? Jimmy Houston is a kayak fisherman.
I know. It's good. Yeah.
And you knew the kayak. Well, no, of course it's not Old Town. We got to get out of here already. Chico, thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate being here.
This was fun.
Anytime you call me, I'll
be
here.
Hollering. Anything you need to throw out?
That's it. Everybody
Johnson
get outside.
Outdoors.
Johnson Outdoors, Old Town Ocean Kayak. Get out and get on the water. It's a beautiful day. Everybody come join us.
There you go. And that's it. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat place. The Sunday Sportsman. We'll have a lot of fun. Thank each and every one of y'all guys. Thank y'all so much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Ken.
Oh, it was fun. Got to thank Cal. Super Prater. See y'all on the other side. Bye.